Hallelujah, Hare Krishna, Namaste, Aloha. May the Force be with you. God bless you. We're going to see how far we can get in Foreseen Beyond Time, Chapter 13, which is entitled The 13th Consciousness. We're on page 107, right? Let's just continue at this part. I read this already before this paragraph, but I'm going to reread it to start here because it's very, very important. It's very important, comrade. Oh, I wanted to say this real quick, make this point to all the people who are believing the nonsense of this Russian boogeyman that we're being presented with by the mainstream prostitutes. Consider this. The young man who was working for the NSA, who outed the NSA, exposing their spying program on all of us, violating all of our Bill of Rights, the criminal government, Edward Snowden, is being protected by Russia right now. He's in Russia over there still. It was 2013. He exposed the criminal NSA, CIA, intelligence community spying on all of us, violating all of our rights during the Obama administration, right? Yeah. Well, if he came back here, right, they'd throw him in jail and lock him up and throw away the key. But Russia is protecting him. A man who spoke up for all, put his life on the line for all of us. And you think Russia's the fucking bad guy here? Wake the hell up, America. Wake up. You're being lied to. America is not America anymore. As William S. Burroughs said, America is the last and greatest betrayal of the last and greatest of human dreams. The zodiac belt was one stage of development between the solar system and the cosmic chain. Master stargazers, thinkers, and creators of astrological systems, the Atlanteans, possessed knowledge that eventually became the basis for ancient heliocentric and Ptolemaic or geocentric views of the universe and of the Egyptian, Babylonian, and Assyrian science of astrology. The previous paragraph I don't think I read. I may have, but I'm just going to do that quick. The seers of Atlantis viewed creation as being in various stages of becoming. Sand grains eventually became human consciousness. Human beings became planets, which in turn became solar systems and then cosmic chains, and on ad infinitum. In the beginning, the extraterrestrials divided the cosmos among themselves, proportionate according to their respective dignities. Each one of their representatives became the peculiar carrier of his or her own allotment, establishing sacred spaces and ordaining a seercraft, which instituted a system of knowing. To the planet Neptune was given the sea and a vast island continent in the midst of it. 3 earth-born humans lived on a mountaintop in the middle of that giant island. Evanor, his wife Leucippe, Leucipe, which I would think would mean light, and their lovely daughter Cleito, Cleito. After the sudden death of her parents, Poseidon took the girl under his wings. She eventually bore him 10 sons. Poseidon then subdivided the continent into 10 states and made his eldest son Atlas overlord above the other 9. He named his continent Atlantis after his eldest son, and he called the sea surrounding it the Atlantic. The descendants of Atlas continued their benign rule over Atlantis during countless generations. With wise industry and efficient government, they elevated the continent to unsurpassed dignity. Natural resources were limitless, ores were mined, quarries were managed, wild animals were domesticated, and science, arts, and crafts were perfected and practiced. Throughout this time, no wars were ever fought. Peace was the operating principle of this civilization. While enjoying the natural abundance of their semi-tropic location, Atlantean architects planned and erected stunning palaces, temples, pyramids, docks, tunnels, and bridges, creating canals and central islands. The citadel in the center was a sanctuary of bliss surrounded by a wall of solid gold. The city of the Golden Gates Numenor and capital of Atlantis, had a tower reaching into the stratospheres. Poseidon's temple, made of silver, gold, and ivory, contained a colossal statue of Poseidon standing in a chariot drawn by 6 winged horses, surrounded by 100 graceful Nereids playing on dolphins. This temple was a space portal for the voyagers of time coming in from planet Neptune. There were hot and cold springs, meditation retreats, and to the great harbor came vessels from the other maritime nations. Vast plains yielded 2 crops a year. The young woman in Nepal briefly looked to the snow-covered peaks of the timeless mountains, holding the crystal tablet as if it was something sacred. Her eyes were alight with the wisdom from the stars. She once more gazed into the crystal. Every year the 10 kings of Atlantis would meet, donning their azure or golden robes, passing sentences while sitting in judgment, taking a renewed oath of loyalty upon a sacred inscription. Their chief law stated that they would never take up arms against each other, and they would assist each other in the event someone from the outside world attacked one of them. No king had power of life and death over his kinsmen without a majority approval among the 10 Kings Council of Atlantis. They operated in concert with an extraterrestrial council of cosmos. Filled with false ambitions and lured from the pathway of wisdom and virtue by evil temptations, the rulers of Atlantis decided one day to conquer the rest of the world.